Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's tutorial is how I clean my makeup brushes. I'm going to show you 3 different ways that I clean them. The first one I'm going to show you is one I get asked a lot about. For instance, if you don't have a lot of brushes and you're working on one person and say you've only got 1 or 2 blending brushes but you want to use the same brush with a different colour. You won't have time to wash the brush, you don't want to get it wet, so this technique is really handy. As you can see, I've got brown and black eyeshadow on this flat shaded brush, and when I rub it onto the tissue you can see excess colours coming off, so I can't use that with a different colour in this state. I've got this very coarse stipple sponge which I've had for about 10 years now. I always clean it and I've looked after it well, and I've always used it for cleaning my brush. What I do is I rub the bristles into the coarse sponge. You want to be very gentle with it so you don't ruin your bristles of your brush. Rub it backwards and forwards, and what this is going to do is remove the excess pigment that's in the bristles. And then as you can see, when I rub it on the tissue, there's no colour coming off. So this is then okay to use on the same person you've been using it on, but it isn't hygienically cleaned to use on another person. You can get the coarse stipple sponge from Kryolan, and I will link it in the description bar for you. Now, a quick way to clean brushes in between clients so you can use the same brushes on different people is to use IPA, isopropyl alcohol. This is going to kill off any germs and bacteria, and because it's alcohol it's going to evaporate really quickly, so the brush will be dry again and ready to use within 5 minutes. To use it, I just take a brush and I dip the bristles into the IPA. Now I don't dip it above the ferrule, which is the metal area, because there's glue in there which holds the bristles in place and we don't want that to loosen the glue. And then onto some kitchen roll, I'll wiggle my brush backwards and forwards, removing any of the pigment that's in the bristles. Remember to always lay your bristles flat and twist your handle. Don't dig the bristles downwards or bend the bristles, because you'll only ruin the performance of the tip of your brush. Now also remember, this is only a temporary quick way of cleaning what's on the brush to use for the next client. You must give your brushes a deep clean at least once or twice a week, or if you can be bothered, ideally every makeup session, so that you really don't get a build-up of bacteria in between the bristles or deep down towards the ferrule. IPA is another great one for removing concealer from brushes. A lot of clients that I work on show me their concealer brushes and they're always really thick with concealer because it's oily. It's really hard to remove with basic makeup brush cleansers, but IPA is a brilliant one for just breaking down the oil and removing it straight from the bristles. For me, this is always the first step I do before I shampoo my concealer brushes. And as you can see, the bristles look like new again. They don't look all waxy and they're not stuck together. You can buy IPA from eBay. I normally buy a litre of it for about £8, and you can also buy it from some makeup shops, but if you can get it on eBay cheaper, you might as well go there. When I deep clean my brushes, I usually clean them all with alcohol first, and then I use Johnson's baby shampoo to clean them. Ordinarily I'd do this under a running tap because it's constant fresh water, but because I'm trying to show you on camera, I'll use the 2 water bowl method. Now, as far as I'm aware, Johnson's baby shampoo doesn't contain an antibacterial agent in it anymore. So if you're not going to pre-clean your brushes with alcohol, then after you've shampooed them you need to spray them with an antibacterial spray. I do all 3 because I like my brushes to be super clean. But if you're lazy, then you could always just buy a makeup brush shampoo that contains antibacterial agents in it. Now, I didn't pre-clean this brush, I just wanted to show you that you can clean it with just the shampoo and the spray. I dip the bristles into the water up to the metal, and then squeeze out the excess and then put a little bit of shampoo onto my fingers. I do like to create a lava, but I like to do it in small amounts because I don't like the lava to sit in between the bristles, so I always like to do my brushes twice. So I just rinse the bristles off into the water, squeeze the excess out, and then I apply a second amount of shampoo and do it again. Make sure when your bristles are in the water, again you're not going above the metal, but you just rinse it around over your fingers, and this is just going to make sure that you're removing any of the lava from the centre of the bristles. Now, you don't have to be as picky about this as I am, you don't have to be as thorough, but you do need to make sure you give them a clean. Obviously I work on clients day in day out and I need to make sure that my brushes aren't going to cause any issues and spread any bacteria from one person to another. One way to check that the suds are completely removed from your brush is to run your finger up the bristles very gently. 1, you will see if there's any suds left in it, and 2, you'll hear it. It's a bit like when you've got shampoo on your ears and it makes a popping noise from the little bubbles. You'll get the same effect with your brushes. When you can't hear it and you can't see any, you know it's completely rid of the shampoo. If you can't rinse your brushes underneath a running tap, then once you've cleaned all your brushes in 1 bowl of water, get a fresh bowl of water and just re-rinse them in the fresh water. This will ensure they're nice and clean and there's nothing left in between the bristles. Remember, it would be quicker if you could do this under a tap, Obviously I can't because I'm doing it to camera, so that's why I'm showing you the 2 bowl method, but if you can do it under a faucet it would be much quicker. Then you want to leave your brushes to dry on an angle. I always try and rest mine on something so the bristles are facing downwards. That way the excess water can run down to the bristles and onto the tissue, and also that way it won't seep up and ruin the glue in the ferrule. Now, as I mentioned earlier, if you didn't pre-wash your brushes with alcohol, you can use an antibacterial spray afterwards to make sure they are germ-free. This one I'm using is the Hygiene Collection, and I will link it in the description bar for you. And that is how I clean my brushes. So everything I've used will be listed in the description bar below, and if you've got any questions, just leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. The links to those will be in the description below. If you've missed my previous tutorials, you can click on these now. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future tutorials. Speak to you soon. Bye!